This is the FerdY Sentosa 59-inch acrylic freestanding soaking tub. The first thing that struck me is the clean, rectangular silhouette. It leans modern without feeling cold, and it lined up perfectly with the square edges in my bathroom. My basins and fixtures have that same straight-line look, so everything feels intentional. I wanted a freestanding tub that reads like a centerpiece without swallowing the room, and this one got that balance right. I'll start with the material because I was on the fence about acrylic. I'd always pictured cast iron or stone as more luxury, and I worried acrylic might feel flimsy or cheap. From my experience, that concern didn't hold up. The high-gloss finish looks bright and polished, and the surface feels smooth and cool to the touch. Acrylic on its own is lightweight, but this tub is reinforced with fiberglass, so it feels sturdy when you settle in. It also holds warmth better than I expected. Some metal tubs bleed heat quickly. Here, the water stays comfortable long enough for a proper soak, which matters to me because I actually use this for long baths, not just for looks. Key features that stood out to me. The size is 59 inches long, about 29.5 inches wide, and roughly 22.6 inches tall. That's practical for smaller bathrooms or tighter layouts, but it still reads as a focal point. The inner soaking depth is around 15 inches, which is the sweet spot. You get real submersion without needing a huge footprint. I can stretch out and sink in, and the height doesn't make it awkward to step over the rim. The ends are gently sloped for lumbar support, which just means the backrest area angles in a way that supports your lower back. It sounds like a small thing, but leaning against that slope lets me read or just zone out without my spine fighting me. Both ends are sloped, so you can lounge either way. The finish is high-gloss white, and the drain trim is brushed nickel. I like that combination because it plays well with chrome or black fixtures too. In my setup, the faucet sits at the center, so I'm not locked into one side. I added a simple wooden bath caddy across the rim, and it fits cleanly without wobble. There's space for soaps, a candle, or a tablet, no juggling products along the edge. Installation brought a real-life hiccup that's worth sharing. On the first fill, the drain seeped a little. Not a flood, but enough to raise my blood pressure. I sent a photo to customer support, and they immediately flagged it as a seal issue from the install. They shipped a new seal promptly. Once my plumber reinstalled the drain with the correct seal, the leak disappeared and hasn't returned. It ended up being a simple fix, and the quick response gave me confidence in the brand. Because acrylic tubs are lighter than cast iron, I had one more concern: movement. A freestanding tub that slides even a little is frustrating. I read a tip to run a thin ring of silicone around the base before setting it in place. That was the move. The tub sits solid now, no shift, even when I step in and out. The lightweight build was actually a big advantage during delivery and install. Getting it upstairs and around a tight corner was manageable, and the leveling feet underneath make it easy to get everything square even if your floor isn't perfectly flat. The manual has clear illustrations, so even though I hired a plumber, I could follow along with what was happening. It was up and running in a couple of hours. As for daily living, cleaning has been easy. I stick to a microfiber cloth, warm water, and a gentle dish soap or mild bathroom cleaner. Acrylic can scratch if you go at it with harsh scrubbers or strong chemicals, so I avoid abrasive pads and anything labeled heavy-duty. Wipe-downs keep that glossy look intact. From my experience, this routine is enough to keep water spots and soap residue in check. I've also seen that the tub is CUPC certified, which is a plumbing standard for safety and performance. It's not something you feel day to day, but it's reassurance that it's built to spec. One more note for anyone planning a remodel: take a minute to map your drain and faucet position before you seal anything. Freestanding tubs give you flexibility before you secure them, and a quick dry fit helps avoid surprises. Measure the drain alignment, decide where your faucet will live, and check that the caddy or any accessories you want will sit how you imagine. Let me circle back to how it feels to use. The rectangular shape gives it a clean, tailored presence, but it doesn't feel boxy when you're in it. The corners are softened just enough for comfort, and the rim is comfortable to rest a forearm on. The soaking depth turns normal baths into actual downtime. I've sat through long soaks with bath salts, and the water holds temperature well enough that I'm not constantly topping off with hot water. The silence when you lean back and the way the slope supports your back. This is the part that sold me more than any spec sheet. In my opinion, this tub nails the modern look while staying practical. It's perfect for people who want a freestanding focal point without the weight, cost, or installation headaches of cast iron. It's also for anyone who values easy maintenance and real soaking depth in a modest footprint. If you're chasing a vintage clawfoot vibe or you want stone-level heft, you might look elsewhere. But if you want clean lines, comfort, and a straightforward install, I think it hits the mark. From my experience, the only bumps were installation details, getting the drain sealed right and making sure it didn't shift. Both had simple fixes, proper seal on the drain, silicone ring at the base, and both have held up with regular use. The tub still looks bright, no discoloration, and no flex or creak when I step in. I've used it several times a week, and it's become the most relaxing part of my bathroom. I'd recommend this for anyone updating a bathroom and wanting that spa vibe without blowing the budget. It's also a smart choice if you're installing upstairs or in a tight space, because the weight and size are friendly to those conditions. If you like to read or scroll during a soak, the shape and rim make it easy to set up a caddy and not feel cramped. In conclusion, the FerdY Sentosa 59-inch acrylic freestanding soaking tub blends style, comfort, and practical details in a way that feels thought through. The rectangular design looks sharp, the 15-inch soaking depth is legit, the double-ended lumbar support is genuinely comfortable, and the acrylic finish is easy to keep clean. Support was responsive when I needed them, and once installed correctly, everything has worked exactly as it should. If you're on the fence about acrylic versus heavier materials, I was there too, and I ended up really happy with this pick. If you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or your own install tips in the comments. Thank you for watching.